Okay, the last biogeochemical cycle that we're going to talk about is the water cycle. So hopefully you're really familiar with this from last year, because I know you studied it in detail. So this one will probably be the easiest for you to remember. So the water cycle is the continuous movement of water between Earth's surface and its atmosphere. Just like the other cycles, it's continuous and it's just changing form from one to the other. Matter is not getting created or destroyed, it's just changing from one form to the next. The sun is the source of energy for the water cycle, so it's the primary source and reason for why the water is changing from one form to the next. Okay, so let's go through the cycle. Let's say we start with water in a lake. So the sun's heat is going to help the water evaporate and turn into a gas and move into the atmosphere. So at this point, the water is going from a liquid to a gas and moving from the lake to the atmosphere because of the heat of the sun. Once it's in the atmosphere, the water vapor rises and cools and then condenses, which again is the process of a gas turning into a liquid. After it's condensed, precipitation can happen, and that's when water is going to return to the Earth's surface. So it can return to the surface as rain, snow, sleet, or hail, but it's moving from the atmosphere back to the surface. After it's on the surface, the water can become surface water, or it can become runoff, which is when water flows over the land without sinking into the ground. Water can also infiltrate the land or actually sink into the ground. Plants can also play a role in this process because they can return water to the atmosphere as well through transpiration. That's when water is released through tiny openings in the plant's leaves. So water vapor is released from the plant back to the atmosphere. Again, we're just seeing different ways that water is cycled from the surface into the atmosphere and then back to the surface again. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a simple diagram of the water cycle, and you'll see a more complex one on the website that you'll record on your notes sheet when you go to that website. But here's the first diagram I want to show you. It kind of sums up what I just said. So evaporation starting here from the lake water, and then the water is getting condensed in the air, and precipitation is occurring over here. You can see this arrow pointing to runoff, going right here back into the lake where the water can stay as lake water. And then over here you see transpiration happening from the plants when water vapor is released back into the air as well. So this is one really simple diagram of the water cycle. Right now you're going to go back to that other note sheet and go to that website again and click on the water cycle to record the diagram from that website and summarize the water cycle in your own words.